Everybody's talking to Paul. I hear every word they're saying on my laptop, on my phone. When life seems a constant battle, I tune into Earnest Prattle. It will brighten even your darkest day.
Hello, welcome to Earnest Prattle edition 13, subtitled DJ Pumpkin Presents. Now, before I go any further, can I just ask a quick favour? Would you please consider pressing the subscribe button, liking the video, maybe leaving a comment or sharing any of those things? I'd be much obliged. Now, today's edition sees a big first for Earnest Prattle. It's the first international edition. And we're going to be coming all the way from Los Angeles, the USA, to speak to a very special individual who's a rap artist and also a poet, goes by the name of Nadirah X. So, on to the video. Hello, Nadirah X. How are you?
Hey, Paul. I'm great, DJ Pumpkin.
DJ Pumpkin. Well, yeah, that's the old the name from my school days, Nadirah. Thank you for reminding me. And so that's a good reminder. Well, the theme today, we're going to have a chat about our favourite tunes between us, and music's a really important part of my life, but I know it's a massive part of your life as well.
Absolutely.
And DJ Pumpkin's that nickname I'm a little embarrassed about that had when I was DJing at school in the old youth club, the boy youth club. So that's the theme today, DJ Pumpkin Presents, and we're going to have a chat about our favourite songs in the era.
Yeah, let's go.
Before we do that, just for the viewers that may not know you, can you just give us a little insight into who you are and where you are at the moment in the era, please?
Well, I'm originally from Jamaica, born and raised, and I do some music and poetry, and I'm in LA right now.
So when you say do some music, I understand you've got a new release out. Is it on Monday?
It's coming out on my birthday's Monday, the 19th of April, and that's when we're dropping the EP. Yeah, it's called the Ant Live Sessions. It's an amazing producer here from out of Detroit and now living in Houston, and he has a great background with the Public Enemy, the group Public Enemy. And
I know Public Enemy.
Chuck D discovered him, and I met him through Bishop Lamont, and we kind of just organically started putting together some songs, and we have 7 tracks.
That sounds absolutely amazing. We'll look forward to that release, dear. We'll see if we can get you a few plugs over this end.
Hey, that would be cool, man.
So, I mean, do you know Chuck D?
I have not met him physically, but I know who he is. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I've met Flavor Flav.
Never met him either, no.
I saw Flavor Flav with Public Enemy back in the days when I was a teenager. I saw Public Enemy live at Leicester with Run DMC back in my teenage years. But
you were out and about, man.
I was out and about, yeah, back in the day when I could still do that sort of thing, yeah. But
we'll get back to it.
Exactly, we will get back to it, absolutely. So, how have you been coping with the COVID situation over in LA? Is it locked down at the moment, or is it quite free? I mean,
It's open, but
it's all open.
But you do need to wear masks.
Okay.
Yeah, just little restrictions. I think in some places you can't eat inside yet, but a lot of the places have outdoor eating, and you know, and you still get to go to the mall and stuff. It's just a lot of limited people in the stores. There's a counter at the door to make sure it doesn't get too full in there, you know.
Yeah.
So they're doing pretty good over here, I think, in terms of maintaining,
We're
social
we're just
distance.
starting to open up at this end in the UK. So it's getting better, but it'd be nice to get back to some sort of normality.
Yeah.
But like I said at the start, what we'll do now, so we're gonna talk about, well, a thing that's important to both of us, which is music, and I'm really honoured to me, music's really personal.
It
So
is.
getting to share my personal music choices with somebody as special as you, Nadirah X, is a privilege. So we're going to kick it off
Well,
first.
sure, it's an honor to share mine with you too.
Oh, thank you very much. It's honestly, it's a pleasure. But we'll kick off with, well, we're going to pick 5 tunes each, which is a really difficult thing to do, picking your top 5 tunes.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard. You just gotta pick. It's really hard because there's so much music that we
You have to
love,
go
right?
with the feeling there and then, because
Yeah.
sometimes it probably changes by the week. But so tell me, your number 5 tune, Nadirah, what did you pick?
I picked Didn't We Almost Have It All by Whitney Houston.
Didn't always have it all by Whitney Houston, and
The
why
live
did
the live performance.
the
I mean, I
live?
loved it.
Okay,
I'm a Whitney Houston fan, but I loved her live performance of that particular track.
and why did you come to that choice, Nadirah?
So, I mean, that's a song about, almost having the perfect kind of union or perfect kind of relationship. And it's that almost that something made it, you know, fizzle. And so yeah, in that way it's personal for me, but also I think that's one of her best kind of delivery of that song to me
Yes,
personally. The way she delivered it, the nuances, the everything she did during the performance is, and it's effortless. It's just her on the stage. You don't get to see the band, and it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful piece of work. I really
and
love
she
it. I
did have
watched
an
it a lot.
amazing voice, Whitney Houston.
Absolutely, yeah, touched
Came
the
from a very
core.
musical family,
She certainly did. Yeah.
and
Um,
taken far too soon as well.
yes, battling addiction and stuff. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough world, Paul.
It is a tough one to do, Rex.
DJ Pumpkin.
You can stop you making me blush, but you can say that again. Right, so that's your number 5 choice. I'm going to pick my number 5 choice,
Mhm.
which I cheated a bit.
You
I
cheated.
cheated. I was thinking back to an era when I was around about 13, 14, back in the 1980s. And I went through a little bit of a phase where I was listening to um, a particular music label called Street Sounds. And what Street Sounds did, they licensed import songs from the States, and stuck them on compilation albums. Now, they had a particular album called Street Sounds Electro 5, which was the 5th edition in 1984. And back then, as a 14-year-old, I'd not heard much electro stroke rap music, but I'd also never really heard any mixing. Now,
Mm.
to a 14-year-old, Street Sounds Electro 5, um, from track 3 on the first side, which was Techno Scratch by Knights of the Turntable, that took a good old 1 minute and 2 seconds to mix into Egypt, Egypt by the Egyptian Lover. And as a 14-year-old, I was like, what's that? I was amazed by what I
Yeah.
was hearing. I'm thinking, them 2 songs just segued, and it was like absolute perfection. But then the 4th track, Egypt, Egypt, mixed into Breaker's Revenge by Arthur Baker on the first side. It took a full 1 minute 43 seconds, and to the uninitiated, they wouldn't have noticed the mix. But to the discerning ear, you can hear Egyptian Lover trundling along in the background of Arthur Baker's Breaker's Revenge. And at the time, to me, that was like absolutely awesome. And that's one of the things that encouraged me to want to be a mix DJ at the age of 14. So that's the thing that encouraged me to get into DJing. It wasn't a very long stint. I was 2 or 3 years at the Boy Youth Club, but I thought it was a really exciting time, and that's what got me into, you know, electro, rap, and mixing. So a bit of a cheat there, Nadirah.
Yeah,
I haven't just picked the one song.
you gave me
It's
a
an old
whole
album.
You gave me a whole album.
Street Sounds Electro 5. So when you get a spare half hour, give it a listen and see if you can spot that mixing. Tracks 3, 4, 5, side A.
All right, got you.
So that's my little cheat selection 5. So now on to Nadirah's selection number 4.
Mine was Simply Red's Holding Back the Years.
And can I say personally, what an amazing choice that is, Nadirah, because that's another album I had back in the day. Is it from Picture Book?
Okay, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that selection, please, Nadirah X.
That's a simpler one. I mean, who does not love that track? It's very poetic, and his delivery is incredible as well. It's all about the lyrics for me, and you know what the vocalist is doing with it. You know, that connects me to it. It's just kind of like a frequency. I think that one is pretty clear cut in terms of. I mean, it's a classic. You know what I mean? Like it's one of the best songs.
Well,
ever.
it is, and the whole album. I mean, and Picture Book was a top-selling album at the time. There were some great singles from the Picture Book, but I mean, I bought the album at the time,
Right.
and I thought that was amazing. So
Yeah.
I think you've picked another gem there, Nadirah, but you would, because you got some good taste in music.
Yeah. I mean, you too. What's your number 4?
My number 4. My number 4 is, let me think, the great or the late great Luther Vandross.
Hey.
You're the sweetest one. Which one, Nadirah X? And
I don't know if I'm the sweet. I think it's like a balance, a little bit of spice.
it's a bit of I tell you what, it's a bit of a ballad. It starts off that way, but You're the Sweetest One. When Marcus Miller gets his bass guitar out, it does get rather funky.
But you know, it's like what I noticed with both your tracks is both selections are kind of up tempo.
Yeah,
You like dancing.
absolutely. Well, I did like dancing. But the thing is, with Luther Vandross, I've always been a bit of a sentimental idiot, to be fair, Nadirah. I've always been the type to. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Yes.
And I mean, I think You're the Sweetest One. I think it was about 1983 time. I was just getting my first girlfriend, and I was singing Luther Vandross lyrics, you know, to my girlfriend, saying, you know, how well, I'll quote the actual lines in the song and say, the world's sweetest lady lives around my way, and I think that I'm in love, basically. But I've probably re-quoted that a few times over the years. It's never done me any good.
You gotta use it for one. You kind of recycled it.
I did recycle it a few times, as a matter of fact.
DJ Pumpkin, all the ladies got the one song.
Well, they didn't get just one song. I would send them a compilation, of course,
Okay.
of love ballads, but that one would be on there.
that one would get
So
the
there'll be a
most
few of my old flames in the past watching this video, probably thinking, "Hang on a minute, you told me that was my song. You told me that specifically to me, and now
Oh
you're telling me
no.
you're recycling it to everybody."
Ooh, this is what happened on these calls when we get comfortable.
Well, this is it now. So the cat's out of the bag. Yeah, I
Okay.
did recycle the tune. Yes, that's absolutely right. But this is between me and you and the viewers, Nadira. That's not telling
Okay,
anybody.
okay. Yeah, okay. Let's not let that cat out the bag because you might want to
So
use it again.
you won't use it against me. Thank you very much. So that's my embarrassing selection 4. So moving on to your third selection, Nadira.
A Thousand Beautiful Things by Annie Lennox.
Now, I've never heard that song before, but I have.
Really?
Well, I have. Well, to be honest, I've looked at it on YouTube now, and I did have a sneaky preview earlier, and I've listened to it, and it is a beautiful song.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about that
Beyond the
tune, please, Nadirah X.
Around the time Annie was working on this album, that's when I met her. The album called Bear. Um, and so I was able to hear these before they came out. That album, because I was working. Dave Stewart of the Eurythmics at the time was my manager and producer, and so I was around them a lot. So I had the opportunity to listen to it, and it's again another simple one. Every day you write a list of reasons why they still exist, a thousand beautiful things. And again, very poetic, which Annie is. I think she's a very poetic writer. Um, Nothing. I mean, everything is so deep. You know, everything is. It kind of just touches your core, really. Like my all the top fives are something that touched me very intimately. So why that's a beautiful song. There's no other way to say it.
It's a very beautiful song, and I recommend anybody to go and check that out. Like I said, I'll stick a link to the song in the comments on the video anyway, so people can have a listen to our tunes and give us their opinion.
That's right. Yeah.
But so I take it you know Dave Stewart and Annie Lennox quite well, do you?
Uh um yeah, I was with Dave a lot more and his family, but I did develop a pretty cool friendship with Annie and uh for quite a few years, and I'm actually on her weapons Songs of Mass Destruction album. I'm on her album.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun song. Yeah.
Didn't you did a
So
song? You did a song with it for an older Eurythmics song, didn't? Am I right in saying you had sampled that
yeah,
or?
that's actually the original recording. Like that was cleared by Dave and Annie. Obviously, Dave produced that album, so some
Okay,
of the songs on the album, and yeah, that those are the original strings. That's Annie's original voice because the session was pulled up and Ned Douglas kind of reworked the beat and made it more hip hop. And but it's not like we took the song and chopped it to sample
no,
it. We literally had the session available for us,
that's
which was,
fantastic.
which was funny because that wasn't the song I picked. Dave said, "Pick a Eurythmic song," and I was like, "I'm not doing Sweet Dreams. I'm not doing that one. Not even. I'm gonna stay very far from that one." And I chose "Love Is a Stranger." And well, we kind of lyrically ended up on "Here Comes the Rain Again."
So I'm going to keep you on my birthday and Christmas card list, Nadirah X, because DJ Pumpkin presents in the future. I'll hopefully be speaking to Dave Stewart or Annie Lennox, maybe.
Well, yeah, anything's possible. I haven't really
Anything's
spoken to
possible.
Annie. I haven't spoken to Annie in a while, but yeah, you know, you never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
So where are we now? I'm up to my selection
You're number
3.
3. Yeah.
Selection number 3. I've picked my friend Morrissey. He was originally a band member of the Smiths.
Yes.
Now, my relationship with the Smiths um, is I didn't like the Smiths originally in the 80s. I thought Morrissey was a strange looking guy on the top of the pops with a bush in his back pocket wearing national health glasses, looking like a bit of a strange bloke. But I went for a bit of a bad patch at the end of the last century, and it culminated with me being led out of a company in handcuffs after I'd
Wow.
been arrested. And a friend of mine, I was considering ending it all at the time. And a friend of mine joked to me and said, if you're going to go and kill yourself, go and buy a Smiths album. So I took it literally. I went and bought singles by the Smiths, took it home, sat in the bath, and sat there crying for every single song on the album. So through the Smiths, I'm a bit of a completist and I've got a bit of OCD. So I ended up buying the whole catalogue of the
Wow.
Smiths and Morrissey songs. So I literally had everything. And one of the more, um, well, the more less well-known songs by Morrissey was from, I think it was 1990. It was called Lifeguard on Duty. And
Mm.
the song, although it's talking about a swimming pool lifeguard, Morrissey is the protagonist in the song who's playing the part of an outsider, and he thinks the lifeguard can save him from his life, like a strange sort of superhero.
Right.
But although the song's very poignant and talks about, well, it's like the outsider's anthem. When you listen to the lyrics, they're hilarious in places. I mean, people always say that Morrissey is a miserablist and it's depressing. But when you get songs like Vestibule or words like vestibule into a song, and then he comes out with, let me quote you from the song here. The centre of town is a dangerous zone, drenched in phlegm every time I come home. And then we've got another line that says, because it's the only life I have. I'm always good, I'm never bad, and I've always been so kind to the sick and the partially blind. So it's such a strange collection of phrases,
It
and I think it
is.
uses them sometimes just because they rhyme. But
Yeah.
it really is a cry for help with tongue-in-cheek delivery. So
Yes.
although it's talking about a desperate character who wants saving from his life, if you if you read the lyrics, it's funny all the way through.
Right.
So I at the time I felt like a bit of an outsider, so it resonated. So
Music
that's
for every stage.
absolutely. So like I said, I'm a latecomer to the Smiths and Morrissey, and I've now been to see the great man 12 times live.
Wow.
And I took Paul Junior. That's the last time I went out the house, more or less, on my birthday in 2020. So
What was your birthday?
he's a second generation Morrissey fan now. Um, anyway, let's move on to the number two choice for Nadirah X.
That'll be Jimmy Cliff's Many Rivers to Cross. Another classic.
It is another classic. I mean, obviously, I know more the UB40 cover version.
Really? Yeah.
Well, that's where I heard it first.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh, tell me about
Yeah,
that
that's
song.
that's a I mean, my parents had a really good collection of Jimmy Cliff music when I was growing up, and one because my parents knew him personally, and two, he's a Jamaican icon. You know what I mean? And yeah, absolutely love this song. It It's a tearjerker actually. It's a tearjerker, but it lives in everyday life of, if you're going through anything difficult, this song is explaining it perfectly.
Yes.
So like a lot of the times, I hear it. I've he we tour I toured with Dave, myself, and Mobo and Cooper we had a group called DUP, and the Universal Players, and Candy Dolfa toured with us, and Jimmy Cliff. And every time he would come on stage to do his set and start singing Many Rivers to Cross, the whole, wherever we were performing, an arena, whatever, it would just go very dark, and there'd be lighters, and he'll start singing that, and it's just, I'll be crying. It's one of those. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. What about your number two?
My number two, Nadirah X. I've gone for quite a strange choice, I'd imagine, to some people, but I've gone for the great Donald Byrd from 1975 album Places and Spaces. Change makes you want to hustle. And
Yes. Again, you're boogieing.
I'm
Again,
boogieing again.
you're in the
I'm
dance
definitely,
mode.
it's jazz funk.
I guarantee DJ Pumpkin is dancing when we're not zooming.
Yeah,
DJ
we'll be dancing.
I mean, you have the music on, dancing.
Nadirah X, when I come to see you, we're dancing.
Okay.
I'm bringing the funk with me.
I have two left legs, but hey,
That's
let's see what
okay.
happens.
Well, I've got two right legs. We'll get together with your two left legs. You'll be fine.
Make it work.
But change makes you want to hustle. I mean, the lyrics literally are, change makes you want to hustle, and things just rearrange. Change makes you want to hustle. Nothing stays the same. But it's just funky.
It is.
It's just really funky.
The whole production is. Yeah.
It is.
I'd never heard it.
You never heard it?
I had never heard it till you sent it.
I've been trying to get my DJ radio friends to play that song for years. I've got Julie Hamill on Boogaloo Radio and Laura Beth on BBC Radio Manchester. I can't get them to play that tune because it's not really radio friendly. It's just,
they don't know where to place it.
It's just amazing. It's just an amazing song.
They should just start their shows with it, and then because you can't mix it into anything, any format.
Well, I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story. Is back in the 1990s, when I was in my 20s, I had a friend called Errol Gordon, and Errol Gordon was the best salesman I'd ever met in my life. He could sell sand to the Egyptians, Nadirah X. Now, we was on a night out. It was an impromptu night out after work. So it wasn't out, it was just out after work in Nottingham City Centre. I think it was a Tuesday night, middle of the week, not many people around. But Errol started talking to strangers in certain bars saying, "This is DJ Pumpkin. I'm Errol G, and we represent the Church of the Funk." And they're saying, "What?" He said, "We represent the Church of the Funk, and we're looking for disciples for the Church of the Funk. Will you join up to our cause?" And we're making these individuals laugh. And so as we moved around the pubs in Nottingham, more and more people were following us. And they're saying, "What are we doing tonight?" And they're going, "It's the Church of the Funk with Pumpkin and Errol G. And tonight we're going to go and find jazz funk." Okay, Tuesday night, middle of Nottingham. In the end, we had about 30 people following us. It was all buying us drinks, and they was all getting excited. We had no idea about where to find jazz funk in Nottingham City Centre on a Tuesday night. Anyway, we found this bar in the back alleys, and we went down these stairs to this downstairs bar, and you'll never believe it. it was playing Change Makes You Want to Hustle by Donald Byrd. So
Like,
as they came down the stairs, they were all applauding in the end. So we promised we'd find you jazz funk.
and
We
you
found
found
you
it.
jazz funk. But that song, it just captures that mood. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's funky, it's jazzy, it's fun. It means nothing. I challenge anybody to watch this. Check it out on YouTube. Sit, watch it. Tell me you're not going to smile. You're
Right.
going to smile when you see that
Yeah.
tune.
Yeah.
When you hear that tune, it's going to make your feet tap and you're going to make you smile.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's in here and it's
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
We feel, it's not just here, we feel it, don't we, Nadirah X? We feel
No,
it.
we feel it. It
So
moves.
I'll get off my Donald Byrd drug now and we'll count down to number one, Nadirah X's number one choice. So please let us know, Nadirah, what's your number one song?
That was an easy one, because it is my number one favorite song, and it's Rastafari Is from Peter Tosh, and it's live, Peter Tosh live. And that song is, I get my day started with that. It's a very meditative kind of song, very gets you going in the morning. For me, anyway, I put it on, it's playing, I'm brewing coffee, and Peter Tosh is one of my heroes, you know. I connected with his music at a very, very young age, and his just his real deep spirituality more than any kind of religious thing. It's more of his spirit, you know what I mean, and what he puts into his songs. And I kind of just gravitated towards his kind of rebel approach to, saying
When
what
you
he needs.
say rebel approach, Nadirah X, I've had a crafty look at that video as well,
Yeah,
and talk about laid back.
yeah.
I've got to admit, I'd never heard that song before,
Wow,
and I've
yeah.
heard it, and I'd say that song is in my top 20 now.
Lovely. I'm
It's
happy you
it's
got.
an amazing tune, and it's
Yeah.
a full about 12 minutes. The whole video.
Yeah, the live performance is definitely, especially when they start playing the drums, and
Yeah.
it really does take you on a journey. You know, it takes you on a really great journey. Well, for me anyway. You're right. Not everybody's gonna go on that journey
I
with
love
you.
the fact he's got a Tim Benson having a smoke halfway through.
Well, it's
I'm
it's
assuming it's
part
a
of his
Tim Benson.
practice.
I don't know what he's smoking there, but it's either
What are you calling a Tim Benson? What is that?
he's got some sort of I'm sure it's a menthol
It's mar
cigarette of some kind.
No, it's marijuana.
Oh dear.
He's a Rasta man.
It doesn't hide the fact, but I think that's amazing. Honestly, I was laughing. I
Yeah,
know what that is.
yeah.
But the thing
That's
is,
his greens. It's his greens. His
that's
herbs.
definitely some green.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
So that's
honestly, that tune is so laid back that
yeah.
I need to start my day off with that tune every day, I think.
But it's a meditation. It definitely
It's
is a
definitely for
meditation.
meditation.
Yeah, for sure. It's a vibe when you wake up and get that going. You know, his whole album, all of his albums are really pretty cool to just run. But that's a really great song and a great performance. I like live. I like to watch a lot of the live performances of artists I love because it gives you a different dimension and different
It
texture.
certainly does.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Well,
let's hear your number one.
my number one, I feel a bit like I can't really get to that height after your number one. That's just such an amazing tune. But I've gone for the Smiths. What difference does it make?
I saw.
And to be fair, it's the lyrics. All men have secrets and here is mine, so let it be known. And
Yeah,
saying things like, the devil will find work for idle hands to do. I stole and I lied. Why? Because you asked me to.
Yeah.
And it's things like it's just the lyrics to me, and also um, Johnny Marr's kind of blues riff guitar in that song is just rocking. I mean, unfortunately, Morrissey doesn't like the song. He penned it with Marr, and after the Smiths split up in 1987, Morrissey's never played the song live, and so to see it played live,
Right.
me and my friends have to go and watch a tribute act called the Smyths, who are
Mm.
like a Smiths tribute group. And when they play "What Difference Does It Make," when that guitar starts, the whole place erupts. It just goes
And
through
you feel
you.
they've captured it. You feel they've captured it, the cover band.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Because then you get to have the experience you want, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's better to prescribe live, like you say.
Yeah. A lot of it is.
So, like I say, it's quite a simple choice for me. I love the song, I love the music, I love the lyrics, and it talks to me.
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's what it is though. With any choice of music, yeah? It's something that it says to you, you know,
absolutely. But
that have you put it on repeat.
yes, I do occasionally do that. As a matter of fact, I go take a shower or something, stick it on repeat.
Yeah.
But I don't tell everybody I do sing in the shower, but I do
Well,
sing in
yeah,
the
I'm sure
shower.
I'm sure you're air guitaring and singing in the shower.
There's a bit of that, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, of course,
Life's
yeah.
too short
We
without a
all
bit of
do.
air guitar.
We all do.
So Nadira, I want to say a massive thank you for sharing your musical choices with me. It's
Of course. A pleasure. I'm happy I got to hear and experience yours as well.
so what I normally ask my guests to do, if you don't mind. My mother's name is Anne, so I usually get my guests to say hello to my mum, if that's all right, Nadira.
Of course. Hi, Mom, Anne. I hope you're doing well. I heard you got to see DJ Pumpkin in flesh, so it's always good. I hope you got great hugs out of it, and sending you lots of love and big hugs.
Thank you. Well, Nadira, like I say, I wish I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours. Unfortunately, time restrictions mean we can't. But
That's
I just want
okay.
to say it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and hopefully we may get to this again soon in the future.
Yeah, for sure, man. This was fun. We,
So,
I hope we get to pick another five. It can't be top five next time. It's just got to be five more. See where we
absolutely.
go.
So, thank you for talking to today, Nadira, and
You're
signing off
welcome.
now. Thank you.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.